How much do you love Halloween?
I hate it.
Have you ever been curious about what it takes to be in or own and operate a haunted attraction or Halloween display? Learn about the Halloween and haunt industry and how much love, passion, heart, dedication, time, money, energy, blood, sweat, and tears it takes to make a great Halloween or haunted attraction. Hear the stories and advice from some haunters and get to know them. Haunting with Heart is coming out on October 13th, 2024. For more information, visit hauntingwithheart.com.
Haunters are people that are very giving, and they're people who want to share something with you, share some sort of magic. So it's great that there's a lot of haunters around, and that we continue to celebrate this holiday.
I've been scaring people my entire life.
I mean, that's the industry. I mean, it's haunted attractions. It needs to be scary.
Character to be ready for the night. Yeah.
That you put in your time and effort into something that you really love doing, and you make it fun not only for yourself but the people you're doing it for. And do I haunt with heart? Yeah, I always do.
I do not like this COVID, not one bit. I am so stinking sick of it. I do not like it here or there. I do not like it anywhere.
Yes. Isn't she lovely? However, I think she has a little something right.
Let's ruin our lives.
Getting pissed at high tides, chewing up like cyanide. Please don't revive. Let's ruin our lives. Some pills in acid, nails in my casket. That sounds romantic. To just ruin our lives.
それじゃあビデオ見てもらいます。寝んなよ。
Ahoy, everybody. I have a new personality. It's this hat. Today we're doing something a little different on Let's Ruin Our Lives. We're going to be learning about how to do horror makeup. And to teach me this today is my wonderful friend, Sydoney. Thank you, Sydoney. All right. I expected some laughs on the whole ahoy thing, but it's okay. So how does this stuff work, Sydoney?
So,
oh, by the way, of United Zombies of America, how many different things do you do?
a lot.
A lot.
A lot.
Yeah. Do you want to plug that now or later?
We can do that later.
Okay.
Yeah.
For sure.
So, for horror, a lot of people think automatically you need to go to like blood and guts and gore, but I'm kind of doing a starter off. So this is like your very first thing that you'd buy when you're starting off as a makeup artist.
Right.
Because I don't know about y'all, but I'm not rich, and it costs a lot of money to get makeup, and it takes a lot of time to get to that point. So I usually have a huge kit I'd bring, and you saw it, but when you bring that, people get intimidated. So I like to, you know, start small. So the first thing I told you to get was the Ben Nye's Master Bruise Wheel. So this is what we're going to mainly use today. This is the only makeup we're going to use.
Okay.
And then you have some brushes here that you got as well. So just different brushes. And then the other thing is rigid collodion. And like, we'll go more into detail which each thing does too. And then your thick blood also by Ben Nye.
Nice.
So not a lot of things. And then I brought some of my stuff too. So I brought a thing called a stimpling sponge. And again, we'll go into that. It does some cool things. And then also I have wipies, and then also being clean is very important too, which is something a lot of makeup artists don't talk about, is cleanliness and to be clean, because you don't want to give anything to your model or whoever you're working with.
Makes sense.
Yeah. So that's what we're starting off with. So do you have any more questions? Or
what is this for? This sort of webbed brush.
A lot of these are going to be more of your beauty makeup brushes. Okay. So like this is, you know, blush or different things. I use these for powder. For powder or like, you know, if they're, I mean, I guess you could use this for texture. I mean, just because that's how it came, you can do things all kinds of different ways.
Roll it. Or
I mean, whatever.
Okay.
But yeah, a lot of these I don't usually use unless like you're covering a big area or like I said, powder, stuff like that.
Okay.
A lot of the ones that we'll probably end up using will be more of the smaller brushes. But yeah, I told you to get that one because you have a variety of different kinds. Or if you ever wanted to do beauty makeup, you can. You know, put some blush on, some lipstick.
Sure. You know, that might be a different episode further down. Do you usually work strictly in the realm of horror makeup, or do you also do like beauty makeup? I can
do beauty makeup. It's not my favorite.
Right.
Like I've told you before, you all don't know, but I never wanted to learn makeup. It was not my thing. I never was like, man, I really want to be a makeup artist. Never came up in my life. One of the first haunted houses I worked at, they got me into makeup, and my mom and the casting director and the owner of the haunt was like, no, you need to learn it. And this, I was like, I don't want to. Because again, when you think makeup, what do you think of? Usually, you
like
know,
beauty makeup.
And I'm like, I have no interest in that whatsoever. Mom pushed me big time. They had a makeup class at the haunt. She took me to it, not by choice. I went, not, you know, screaming or anything, but I did go, but I wasn't happy about it. And they taught me, you know, makeup. And then the makeup artist that did most of my makeup at that haunt, when he put makeup on, he'd tell me what he was doing too.
Okay.
So by like, I guess you could say by feeling, hearing it, you learned it as well.
So did they like singled you out for that?
Well, I think my mom probably talked to him. Or he knew that they wanted me to learn makeup, so he worked with me one-on. I've had a lot of different mentors along the way.
Right. So you were a scare actor.
Yeah, that's mainly, again, didn't want to do that either. Mom brought me, whole story. But she made me do it. I fell in love with it. In a way, it saved my life. If I didn't start haunting, I probably wouldn't be here today. So
okay, gotcha.
It really, even though I didn't want to do it because I hated scary stuff, I loved like Halloween. Don't get me like love dressing up and all that. Didn't like getting scared.
Gotcha.
Like I was the kid that was like, that's cool decoration, but I ain't going up there because I know if I do, someone's gonna pop out.
For sure, yeah.
My cousin wasn't that smart. He would be the one going up there, and then he'd yell at me, and he's like, "That guy scared me over." I'm like, "I told you that was gonna happen. That was not a dummy, you know." So. Loved it. Like I was always curious. I wanted to go in haunts to see, but I didn't want to get scared. But they didn't have anything when I was growing up that you know, showed kids. Nowadays it's a little bit more common. They have like kid hour, different things, but
interesting. Okay. And that was out here and
my very first haunt was called The Haunting, and it was back in 2009 was the very first year I started.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
So I was still in high school. I was like 15 when I started.
Yeah, okay.
So,
oh, wow.
Yeah, very young.
That's cool.
So that's why my mom had to come with me because I was technically not, you know, age.
Oh, okay.
I was too young, so you had to have an adult with you.
Right.
And she didn't really want to hunt either, but she kind of had to because since she was there, they're like, well, do you want to like put a costume on and do something? So she got roped into it too. I think that's fair.
Okay. So how did it like go from out of the haunt? When did you start applying makeup outside of that?
So I want to say probably because we started United Zombies in 2012.
Oh, nice.
So
wow.
I think what
Very
really,
cool.
that's when I really started doing makeup outside.
Okay.
So we did,
Nice.
I want to say like some of our first things, we did a music video. It was with Bird City. I don't think they're a band anymore.
Okay.
And then just different things. Libraries reached out to us.
Nice.
We did some library cons, different classes. And
Very
then, you
cool.
know, as word gets around, you know, you get music videos,
Yeah.
movies, whatever. So just things here and there. Again, never really wanted to do it.
Right.
But it kind of just happened. And they're like, well, you know how to do it. You're good at it. So we're just going to keep having you do makeup. So
for the libraries, that was horror makeup or like face painting?
It was horror makeup, yeah.
Okay.
Because they were looking for things to do because libraries are dying. You know, not really anymore, but back they were trying to get people to come to them.
Right.
So they started doing like conventions and classes and stuff just to get people to show like, yeah, we're a library, but we do more than just books.
Okay.
So since my dad's an educator, that kind of hit home for him. He's like, you know, educating people and showing people, hey, there's a library here. You can learn and do stuff.
Right.
So
that's cool.
Yeah. Again, when we started UZA, we didn't really think of kids, really, because when you do horror stuff, you usually think more of adults, and that's like what we thought. We're like, well, we're gonna try to make this so we can do Halloween year round.
Right.
But it kind of a lot of kids stuff.
Yeah.
More than that, I was like, and even like talking with my mom stuff, I was like, I didn't think we'd be working with kids this much. Not like I grew up like, man, I want to work with kids either. But yeah, I've been working with kids a lot.
If you don't mind me asking, does the kid stuff pay better?
Not really. A lot of what we've done is volunteer.
Yeah,
like
sure.
we've just now, I would say, probably started getting paid. I mean, we did get some gigs. Like we did the zoo a couple of times. They hired us to do some Halloween stuff for them and whatnot.
That's awesome.
But a lot of stuff is usually either like very little pay or volunteer because we're very much into giving into the community.
Right.
We never started UZA being like, oh, we're going to be millionaires. We want to make a lot of money off of it.
Sure.
It was more of like bringing people together and then, you know, teaching, educating, and doing stuff.
For sure.
You know, so we kind of knew going into it was never going to be like our big business venture.
Right.
But I mean, but anything we do usually get goes towards buying more makeup or paying for the gas to get there. Stuff like that. Like I know one of the libraries that really started paying us was Apache Junction.
Okay.
And I know a lot of it was because I know no one's going to drive that far.
Yeah. Right.
So that was like one of our biggest paying gigs first. We're like, oh, $100. Ooh, wow, we're really.
For sure.
But then you're like, that just paid you to get there, pretty much.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
But that library has a close place to our heart. That was where we did our first haunt to our because we started our own haunt called Miscreation.
Oh, okay, cool.
And that was the very first place where we actually got to do it.
Nice.
So AJ has a little bit of a special place for us. And so does Tempe. Tempe was like the first library that reached out to us. And they kind of claimed dominance. The guy who, I think his name was, I don't remember what his name was. I want to say Roy or something, but he was very like, you're our zombies now. Like he didn't want to share us with the other libraries, but the other libraries heard about us or they would come to the event and they're like, hey, do you want to whatever? And so at first he was kind of like, no, I want, but then he realized he's like, no, like he was okay with us going out and doing, you know, because again, not everyone can travel to Glendale. We've been all over Arizona. Like I'm going to try to, I know we've been at Apache Junction. We even went to Coolidge one time.
Okay,
like all over. Like it's crazy. Like I didn't think that again when we started that we'd be traveling libraries.
That is very interesting. Yeah.
None of what we planned was how it went, and you'd kind of just go with it. But like I wouldn't change it at all.
Does each spot have like a different vibe or a different way you want them to do the makeup and stuff?
I mean, I pretty much teach the class the same.
Yeah.
People are kind of overall, we're all the same in a lot of ways.
Right.
But the areas are different. Like I would say when you get Scottsdale, you have more of your rich clientele, whatever. And then like Tempe's kind of more college students. There was a lot of young people, a lot of college kids. And then like when we did the Phoenix or Glendale library, sometimes it's a little bit more poor.
Right.
So it's you know, like lower income, but it's not, you know, it's not bad. Like
what about Apache Junction?
Apache Junction, that they were just happy to get anything. Like they're just so like when we did the haunt, they're like, we're just happy. So a lot of them, again, I would say I don't think that's necessarily a poor income, but it's just
depends
it's
on
different.
what part.
Yeah, it's just different.
Yeah.
Like since it's more smaller, and Apache Junction has grown since then. Like it's
Right.
a lot closer
For
than it
sure.
used to be.
For sure.
But when we first started, it was no one went there. Like
Right,
you know,
right.
so the fact that anybody went to their little library con
Right.
to them meant a lot.
Huh, I can
And a
see
lot of
that.
those people see it that way. They're like, wow, the fact, because we even did YumaCon for
Okay.
a couple of years.
Oh,
And
wow.
again, yeah, Yuma, far away again.
Yeah, yeah.
Little town. No one really thinks of Yuma.
That's on the border, right?
Yeah, like
Yeah.
they're really close to San Diego, California, you know.
Yeah, I guess
So
yeah,
sometimes
we
we'd
can
get
talk
to
about
go
that.
there after the con, which was
Oh,
nice.
that's
Like
cool.
we'd spend a day there, come back.
Yeah.
But again, no one thinks of Yuma. But Yuma
sure.
has some really cool things. And actually, because we started going to Yuma, some people from Phoenix were going.
Oh, nice.
So it brought some tourism because they didn't know about the jail down there because they have the prison, the Yuma
Oh, I
prison.
didn't know that. No.
And there's like, if you like haunted stuff,
Yeah.
Yuma has some pretty creepy
Oh, okay.
places.
That's cool.
So, and I
Nice.
mean, if you're in horror, you usually
Right.
ghost hunting and stuff is
Sure.
kind of goes hand in hand.
Yeah.
Like you can't be like, I like horror, but I don't like ghosts. I mean,
Right.
you have your non-believers, but
Mhm.
there's some pretty cool stuff in Yuma
Okay.
for sure.
Interesting. What about Bisbee? You ever go to Bisbee?
We have not done Bisbee yet. That's
Okay.
one place, even if we don't do an event there, I would
Yeah,
like to go there
definitely.
and travel. Because again, I've heard there's a lot of creepy places up there.
Oh,
I
really?
like
Oh, like
creepy
mines and
abandoned
stuff,
ghosts.
right?
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
Did you
And
see that clip of that photographer getting belted by the singer of a hardcore band?
no.
Yeah,
What?
it was a female photographer. She's on stage taking pictures. Obviously, like was there. I think probably paid to be there.
Probably.
And the singer for the band just like I think punched her in the face. And yeah, that band's not going to go anywhere now
Yeah, like,
because it was on
yeah.
film. Like someone was filming
It's
it.
like they're people too.
Yeah.
Just like
I
my
know.
other job as a stagehand. We're the ones that make the events happen. There's
For
no
sure.
stage without us.
Where does so talking about stagehands real quick? Where do you guys go during the show? Like,
So-
are you there making sure nothing falls apart?
Pretty
or-
much stagehands, there's different kinds. So
Yeah.
a lot of it we're there for setup and tear down.
Right.
Very rarely you get it, they call it show call, which is like the people who are there to either help move a set, move the band stuff off, or
Right.
like you said, if something happens, they might need somebody, hey Bob, this whatever, you need to climb up there and do
right.
it.
Oh, okay.
So, but a lot of people think, oh, a stagehand, you get free tickets, you get to meet the, no,
Right.
you don't.
Right.
It's very rare you actually get to see or meet the stars. Most of the time, we're not anywhere near them.
Yeah.
And very rarely you have like really nice ones. Like when we did Elton John, he had his little golf cart and he was going
That
by.
is so nuts.
And he waved at all of us and he was like, thank you so much. and
That's
all
so
of us were
cool.
like, was
Right.
that what? Did okay?
Elton.
Yeah, he was really
Hold me
nice. You know,
closer.
extremely nice. But then you have like
Excuse me.
I did a show call for Madonna. So
Nice.
opposite.
Wow.
Like
Right.
not a nice person. Like there's
Really?
rules when we
Yeah.
came in. They're like you can't call her Madonna. No one can go to the bathroom.
You can't
the
call her
temperature.
Madonna?
Yeah, we had to call her. If we saw her, we had to call her Miss M. And I'm like, why are you even telling us
Oh
this?
wow, that's
Because we're not gonna
crazy.
see her.
So that you guys are lower. To
Oh yeah.
her. That's fucked
there are
up.
some
Yeah.
stars. They make sure. Like there are times
Wow.
that they're leaving the dock, and we literally all have to go to the loading dock and turn away and look away from them.
Are you serious?
So it just depends. Like when we did.
oh my god.
I'm trying to remember what the show was.
Yeah.
It was in Tempe. Innings Fest. Green Day was there.
Oh, okay.
I
yeah.
love Green Day. Don't get me wrong. I
Sure.
did a paper on the drummer and stuff.
Oh, nice.
And we actually got to
Very
watch
cool.
them. Yeah, we got to watch
Yeah.
them rehearse. Like
That's
they were
awesome.
and no one, we didn't know that was happening. And
Right,
we were
right.
like finishing setup. And they're
Yeah.
like, by the way, Green Day is going to come. You guys just wait. We got to, and I was like, and they literally walked right by us, really nice, said hi and whatever.
Nice.
So it depends on the star.
Right,
and
right.
also their managers, because sometimes it's the managers too. They're like, you know.
Right, right.
Which I understand they're weirdos out there. And some,
Sure.
there are some stagehands too. I would not want them near the stars either.
Are they
but-
sort of like carnies?
in a way, yeah, but
Yeah.
some of us don't care. Like, we just love doing it. We don't,
Yeah, yeah,
like,
for
I
sure.
work with a lot of guys. We don't even know who half the people are we're doing it for. They're like, oh,
Right.
you're doing Doja Cat or something. I'm like,
Oh,
I don't know
okay.
who the hell that is. Like,
Right,
I don't-
right.
Whatever. But you just set it up and tear it down. But I mean, like, you get to see different, in a way, it's like it's always the same, but it's different because
Right.
it's different setups.
I like that. That's really cool.
But I mean, if you're into like learning music and stuff, it's a
Mhm.
good, I think if you want to be a star, you should be a stagehand so you
yeah,
have
yeah. Right.
the
For sure.
compassion for them, like,
Makes sense.
because a lot of the stars don't,
For sure.
we get treated, I mean, you have your production crew, which is
Mhm.
higher up than us. We're below that.
Right.
So
like
you
the
have
sound
you have your
people,
sound engineer,
yeah,
your
yeah.
light engineer. And then you have the people who put it together, which is us. So, and usually they're pretty nice because they understand, hey. And so a lot of them guess where they had to start. So they have a, But you have some of those too that are, better than, I'm whatever, I'm not, and you're like, okay.
Yeah, having to avert your eyes is so disrespectful.
Well, it kind of makes you feel less than a person. Right. And then you're like, but then you think too, you're like, we just did 5 hours to set up your show.
Right.
And again, it really makes you think, and it's like, without the people who do everything, you would just be there singing on, the pavement.
Yeah, right.
It's like you have audio, you have lighting, you have all these people that come together and build it. And the pay is not bad, but it could be better.
Okay.
And the job is risky. You can't die. I've seen a lot of injuries. I've seen a person lose a finger. I've seen, cases fall on things.
Are you using like power tools or?
Sometimes
hammers. And
sometimes,
stuff?
if you're a stagehand, you're supposed to have a wrench on you all the time.
Right.
That's like our #1 tool.
Makes sense.
And a knife or like a multi-tool.
Oh.
But it's not a whole lot of power tools.
Right.
I mean, you use a lot of motors to put stuff up and down.
Makes sense.
But
okay.
Everything nowadays is on a cart. When my dad started, it wasn't like that. So even he's like, you guys are spoiled. He's like, we had to carry things, back in my day, we had the dinosaurs helping us set it up. So it's like, it's changed since that. And lighting has too, because everything's LED, so it's a lot lighter and stuff, but it's still heavy. It's still a lot of work.
So for the bigger acts, do the stage materials come to you and you like put them together?
So usually with stagehand work, you're unloading trucks and loading trucks.
Okay.
So
it makes sense.
So they bring like when we did Taylor Swift, she had like 90 something semis, and like 4 of them were just her stuff for backstage.
90.
And I'm talking about the big trucks. So depending on the show, like The Weeknd, he had like 50 or 60. There's some that only have a couple.
Insane.
So it depends if it's like a stadium tour. We're talking about a ton of trucks, and they come, you unload it. Usually have like an audio truck or 2 audio, again, depending on how big the show is.
Right.
But each truck comes as like audio, video.
Right.
If you have pyro, like, the fireworks and stuff.
Sure.
So there's so many things to it. Like I did EDC a couple of years ago, and that's probably one of the biggest things. Whenever I tell people, I'm like, what? And again, it's a lot of DJs and stuff, not into
EDC
it, whatever.
must have been insane. I mean,
it's crazy. There's a lot of stages. The stages are huge. They use this much of it, literally. The stage is this big. They use this much of it because it's a DJ. So you're kind of like,
so you're just standing
why am I building all this? And I mean,
true,
we were there for like a month for setup and teardown. Teardown's usually faster.
Yeah.
Because when you set up, everything has to be measured right, precise. Because again, things aren't right. They can die if the lift lifts in the wrong area or whatever.
Right.
The artist can die as well as anybody around. So everything has to be particularly. They have even a crew that does all the mathematics of this is how high this is. A lot of again, people don't appreciate all the things that go into a show like that. Like I've been doing stagehand work for 5 years. My dad's been doing it since Jesus was a baby. So you have to. You earn your way. Like everyone thinks, I'm going to travel right away. The first company I worked with, the traveling was Tucson. That was the big traveling gig I got.
Right. 2 hours. Yeah,
like,
2 hours south.
But they promise all this stuff and it doesn't happen. So if you're going into that work, just know, unless you're extremely lucky, you ain't gonna get stuff like it. It takes a while.
Is it unionized?
Some of it is. The one we're kind of like freelancers with. I work for like 5 different companies.
Oh, okay.
So
interesting.
yeah, the one that we're going with, it used to be called James Thomas Productions or Jacob Thomas Productions, JTP for short.
Okay.
And now it's called Rockforce because a lot of them are buying each other out. Like I don't know if you know, Clearwing just got bought out by Claire. And they also bought Sound Image. A lot of the people who put on the big shows that we're talking about, a lot of them are getting bought out by each other and merging. So a lot of these companies are becoming one, which I'm learning this because, again, one of the companies I work for, we do stuff with Clearwing.
Yeah.
And they were telling me, we just got bought out by Claire, who also bought out Sound Image and whatever. So it's all of everything's becoming one. And like JTP got bought out by Rockforce, and now it's like you work for a bunch of different companies and then they end up all becoming one company. So.
Wow.
But yeah, if you're a stagehand to get steady
it's
work.
It's like the mafia.
Yeah, you have to kind of work for multiple to get jobs. Otherwise, it's a hard industry. Like,
that's super interesting. I mean, this is a world most people will never know anything about.
No, because no one talks about it.
Yeah,
or again, stagehands are underappreciated.
Yeah.
A lot of the things I do, underappreciated. You're like the ones that are forgotten about. Like you don't think about And a lot of people who go to those shows, do you really look back and like think someone had to build? No one does.
No, not at all. Yeah.
But you know, now when you become a stagehand, you're kind of desensitized. So you'll go to stuff and you're like, okay, and people, oh my God, lasers, and fog, and pyro, and we're just like, oh yeah, that's. I mean, it's still awesome, but it's like, but you've been around it so much, you kind of
definitely, yeah.
It's not. It's still cool, but it's not. You're like, okay, I've seen like.
Yeah, no, I get.
And then
that.
different shows, like when you do EDC, then it's hard to compare anything else. You know, different things like TSO, Trans-Siberian Orchestra. They're set up. So different shows. Then you see like littler shows, and you're like, okay, they're trying. I give them, you know.
So are you mostly in the realm of music production for stagehand, or have you done like plays, or they usually have their own people probably?
We did do some of the theater tear downs and stuff. Yeah. Again, it depends on the contracts and who you're working for.
Right.
I would love to do more theater because, again, that's kind of what I started with.
And it's inside.
But I like inside gigs are always in Arizona. For sure. Love inside gigs. Outside, and then
definitely.
You'd think you'd get paid more, like hazard pay for outside. You don't.
Right.
And they should. They should. It's like if you're doing an outside gig, especially in the summertime, pay your stagehands more because really, and a lot of people usually end up getting heat stroke and stuff because people don't take care of themselves.
I imagine, yeah.
But you would think you'd get paid more. No, you don't.
That's a good point. For sure.
I don't know if like any other work you've heard, but like they hazard pay or like they do different things for, and you'd think like you're outside for hours.
Yeah.
You'd think no.
I did landscaping out here for a long time.
So I'm sure you know.
No hazard pay, no health insurance.
No. Well, see, and that's the other thing too. A lot of stagehands don't have health insurance, so if we get hurt, we're kind of like. And again,
you're screwed.
And the job is risky. You can, there's a lot of people who do not pay attention. Like I work with some great people, but you work with other people and they don't know what they're doing, which it's not always their fault. When you're new to the industry, you're literally learning on the fly. There's no training. I remember my first, I had no idea what the hell I was doing. But luckily there were people that were around me that were nice and taught me. But a lot of the times, like you have people who don't know what they're doing, or they think they know everything, so they don't listen to the safety rules. So it's a very dangerous
and then they're
industry.
Just a hazard to everybody.
Yeah. My dad got a pole dropped on him, a metal pole, because somebody wasn't listening. So did the company pay or do anything? No, they did not. They're just like, that sucks. Well, sorry that you didn't die.
Damn.
I saw a rigger literally almost get killed, and I don't know if they paid for his. I hope they did, because I mean he had like a broken leg, broken ribs, and
really.
How
did that happen?
A giant platform. The crane operator and the rigger weren't communicating.
Oh man!
And he dropped it when it wasn't ready, and it came, and he was like this, and it just hit him out of the way barely.
Damn!
But if it fell on him, in a way, he's lucky he got hit out of the way. Again, it probably hurt, and that's how he got. But if he would have got caught on that metal, and I'm talking thousands of pounds, it would have. It could have. Oh
my God! Well, that's some stuff to think about.
Well, and sometimes some of the stagehands you work with, they come high or impaired, and that doesn't help either. Like, again, it's very dangerous. It's very fun and rewarding. It's hard work, but there are parts, like I said, there are parts where it's really cool, and you're like, wow, like I just did that, or I helped do that, or not. I'm not a fan of Taylor Swift. I don't hate her. She's not bad, but like we got to help set that up, and she was there for like she was here for like a month, and we got to help with the set because that's where she did her rehearsal at State Farm. So we were there, we did the setup, and then there are days we would literally just sit there for hours, and we were there, like you said, in case she wanted to move. There were some days we like moved a chair, and I'm like, hey, they're paying me, I don't care.
Was she nice?
We didn't get to meet her. No, she was in a broom closet or whatever, and they pushed her on stage. Or I don't know. Like we didn't even.
They just keep her.
Yeah. Well, the fans knew who it was. Like they're like, we know that's her, and I was. We got to see some of the show because I was there again for a show call. We had to get Paramore's stuff off. For her stuff to get on.
How about did the truckers get paid pretty well?
I think so. I think to be a truck driver, you get paid pretty good. And I heard that Taylor Swift gave like bonuses and stuff to hers.
Wow.
Like I said, you can hate her, but I mean, she treats her people really well.
Is there a certain type of person that is attracted to getting their face painted as a horror character?
Weirdos. No. I always try to teach people, try something outside your comfort zone because you never know. You might. If my mom didn't push me, again, I probably wouldn't be here today, and I wouldn't have all the experience I do. But sometimes you have to push yourself outside your comfort zone to find your passion.
For sure.
Or to like be like, or if you don't like it, you're like, okay, I've did that. like my mom doesn't really like makeup. She's like, done it. I'll do it if I have to, but I don't like it. Like she doesn't go out of her way to get made up.
Right.
A lot of horror fans, again, probably like it because then you get to relive that movie that you like as your favorite character, cosplayers, stuff like that. So I would say it draws probably more of that crowd, you know, your cosplayers, the people who like dressing up and stuff. But sometimes you can get people who aren't even into that and they like, I mean, like even bands, Kiss and stuff, there are even musicians who put makeup on or try it.
Right.
Which I think, again, makes them a little different, adds a different aspect to them, makes them stand out a little bit more.
For sure.
Like you said, I take photos of some of the bands, and one of the last shows that we did at Mill of Madness was Death Tunnel, and he had a Leatherface pretty much costume on. I had so much fun shooting them. Because the fact they were different, and he looked different. And again, you know, I like horror photography, so for me, I was like, ooh, music and that, you know, like I was like two of my favorite worlds coming into one. So it made it fun. And he liked it too, you could tell, because, you know, and some of the bands I've shot for, no reaction. Like they just do, it's like, I'm taking photos and video of you. Do something different. Like there was one band, literally all the photos looked the same, and he looked scared. I was like,
I know.
And in Victoria, someone I work with Matt Stash, and I was like, I tried my best to get some photos of the guy, but like they all, there's 50 of them and they look the same.
Was it a punk band? Or like sort of adjacent to that?
Yeah.
Well, I think about like with like underground music, like you've got musicians either want to be entertainers or they don't. You know what I mean?
And that's the hard part.
Yeah.
But then, I mean, if you are that kind, you can't be mad though if your photos look pissed off.
Sure.
But it's like, but if you have a little showmanship, I think that helps.
Unless your music is just like mind blowing, like Pink Floyd doesn't move around a lot.
No, but they have all
a crazy stage show or whatever. You know?
And when you're a new band just starting off, you don't necessarily have that. That's one thing I liked about the Mill is it did have the lasers and stuff.
For sure.
So even if the band was a little boring, at least they had something to look at if it was on and they were working.
Right.
So it's like, but it gives that band too a chance to kind of get to play with that too, because you know, probably as a musician, you don't have access to that stuff because that's really expensive.
Yeah, for sure.
So it kind of is sad in a way that the whole
honestly,
Matt Stash
I hate
thing.
like extra stuff.
Yeah.
Well, at least like when I would play at like bars and stuff, like somebody like I played at like a goth night at some bar in Orange County, and they had the smog machine going and lasers, and I'm fucking coughing, I'm distracted by all the lasers. I'm like trying to play my guitar, but like I hated that. But if it was on a big stage,
it gives you a different feel.
Yeah, from playing just on the floor to
that, it's a change.
Any side stage,
it's a change.
Like it's a big change.
And that's probably why you didn't like it, because you weren't used to it. If you had more practice, you'd be like, oh, I know that laser's coming, you know.
Right.
But when you're new, you're like, what's going on?
I didn't know they were going to do that at this show. They just started doing it.
That doesn't help either. It's
No,
like,
for sure.
wait, what? There's fog? What's going on here?
For sure.
No, that doesn't help.
So this might sound like it's out of the blue, but it's connected to my question about the type of person that volunteers or likes to be made up in costume. Do you, Sydoney, think that human beings are animals?
They can be.
Okay.
They can. I mean, I've met in this industry, in any industry, you meet people, and they're sometimes you don't even think they're human or even demonic. Like there are people that are literally evil out there. Like I've had people ask me, like, "Do you think evil's real or whatever?" I'm like, "Oh yeah," because people make decisions that literally are evil.
It's our cat, sorry.
I was like, who's waving at him?
It's Magnus.
But yeah, it's like, so I think people can be. There are some people that are just bad.
Well, do you think like good animals? Like, so my question is like, wanting to like sort of harness that character. You know what I mean?
Mean like?
Yeah.
Actually, when we do training for haunts, sometimes we'll play into animals. Like like for instance, when I first started, one of the things that when I was a zombie, I thought of like a lion, like with the pack, because we had other zombies, and I was like, I'm protecting the other zombies. We travel in a pack. So I would think more like you're saying, animal instinct. Like when you're a zombie, what are your food mainly, right? And what are they? You know, so I would say with horror. Probably having animals, tributes or whatever, probably does help a lot. Like when we do training, we'll train like, you know, like, okay, what's your character? Why is your character so mad? Or are you just hungry? Are you frustrated? Why are you the way you are? Like, and I think that's what makes other haunts stand out too, is if you have character development that's just people standing in a boo,
Right, totally.
and people actually getting into their and you have more fun. Like when we did Rawhide this last year, we actually had some character development. The first year it was like everyone's just a townsperson. You have a plaid shirt on, you're getting shot. This last year, some of our people who came back actually I want to do this. Can I do this? And I was like, if it's in the time period. So we had like a clown. We had a Day of the Dead kind of thing. But it was cool to see because their character went to a whole nother level because they had a persona, they had a background instead of just I'm a zombie wandering around hungry. You once were somebody. Everybody in the town of Rawhide was somebody.
Right.
You had your dentist. You had the the mailman or whatever they had back then, the different jobs. So it's
That'd
like,
be cool.
we have to have all that in the town. Not everybody was just, I'm just Bob, the town drunk. It's like, so you have to have, and then you had your ladies of the night, back in the Western.
For sure.
And we even had a girl who had a mustache, and she was, her story was cute. She was really shy and timid when she started.
Yeah.
And she came up to one of my leads and was like, I can't do this. Like, she wasn't liking it. And haunting is not for everyone. You know that.
For sure, yeah.
Well, our lead worked with her and found her a different spot, and she changed. Like then she loved it, and she got a mustache. It's a whole story, and we called her Mustache Girl. When she got that mustache on, her persona changed.
Really?
Like
it felt like a mask.
Yeah, it was funny because you'd watch her in the makeup chair. She'd come in or whatever, and then she just instantly changed.
That's pretty cool.
And as someone who does that, that's what makes the job fun, is getting to see that.
So we've worked together twice now. You've done makeup on me twice.
Sorry.
No, it's awesome. I highly recommend working with Sid. Just super cool, very professional, fun atmosphere. I've met so many cool people already just in the 2 times. But so the last character that I did, what did you think of that character?
I think you had fun with it too. You were kind of iffy in the beginning.
Right.
But I think once we got the gashes and stuff on you, once the makeup was on you, you changed.
For sure.
You changed and you had fun. And when we got out there with Roland, your victim, and I didn't even have to tell you how to place. I was like, hey, what? And you guys went right to it. And it's like, that's when you don't have to direct people and they kind of do it, they're into it.
Right.
And I mean, those photos came out really, really cool.
No,
you look scary.
Thank you. I appreciate it. No, the pictures are amazing. And you directed really well too.
Yeah, I tried. And again, that was for Loki. Loki wasn't there. So unfortunately I did. But when Loki did show up, kind of gave him the reins and was like, I'm here to help you, but I want to see what you did. And Victoria helped too. So again, we did this shoot for a student. And he's learning. This is his first big project for school. That's why we couldn't pay, obviously, because we're all poor.
Was it for film school?
He's in Mesa Community College. He's taking photography.
Oh, gotcha.
And it was for his final.
Interesting.
And his teacher was like, well, what do you like doing, whatever? And he's like, well, I love haunted houses, whatever. She's like, why don't you do that? Why don't you do a horror kind of haunt? So
nice.
Photography teachers like to see different things, because when I took photography, my teacher's like, you know how many cactuses I've seen?
Right.
Because my teacher was older. I was like, this is going to go 2 of 1 ways. He's either going to be freaking terrified of me and think I'm a weirdo, or he's going to like me. And my first project with him was a self-portrait.
Okay.
And half of my face was zombified and half of my face was regular, because he was pretty much like, the project is like, I want to see who you are through the photo.
Right.
So it's like, well, I pretty much live and breathe UZA ever since I was little. So I was like, how can I show that? So when I showed it to him, I was like, really? I was like, because again, he's an older school guy. He used to work for Arizona Highways. He's really famous for a lot of photos and stuff.
Oh,
his name is his name is Jerry CV. Awesome old guy. A lot of people didn't like him because he was old school, and everyone wants to do the new digital, whatever. I liked him because he was old school.
For sure. Yeah.
But when I was scared. I'll tell you, I was sitting there at my computer, like, I don't know how this is gonna go.
Right.
And I showed it to him, and he was really quiet, and he was just like, I like this. He's like, it's different.
Nice.
He's like, I can't wait to see what you have. So anytime it was time to show our stuff, he was always excited, because he's like, is that a dead body next to the cactus? He's like, now that I like. And I was like,
awesome.
so like, and one day I looked at him and I said, you're kind of messed up, aren't you, Jerry? He's like, I've always wanted to take a picture of a human skull. Like a real human skull. He's like, that's just something I've always wanted to do.
Interesting, yeah.
And so I looked at him, and I was like, so you're weird. You're weird.
Right,
so
for sure.
I'm still friends with him. He's an awesome guy.
Oh, that's cool. Nice.
Nice. But I didn't think that was good.
Right.
By looking at him.
Is it just me, or is Arizona sort of the Florida of the desert?
Probably.
You know what I mean? There's a lot of characters out here. There's a lot of crime, and death is crazy.
It's worse than it has been.
The murders are crazy lately.
It's worse than it was. Like when we first moved here, I had white culture shock.
Right.
I'm from Las Cruces, New Mexico, which is heavily Hispanic.
Yeah.
I was a token white kid growing up. Like
I'm from Los Angeles.
They had me in photos and stuff. They're like, well, we need one white kid. Bring Sydonian.
Right.
Even though I'm mixed, I'm also Hispanic and Native American.
Right.
But I look, my mom's side is Viking and white. So I look white.
For sure.
Dad, I see Mexican and people don't believe it. And I'm like, how do you not? I see, whatever. Grandma couldn't speak English, didn't know what she was saying. So yes, I am Hispanic. But it was funny because I was like picked on for being white.
Yeah.
And everyone spoke Spanish. I didn't. So all the time getting picked on and you didn't know what even they were saying.
For sure.
So when we moved here and there were so many blue-eyed, blonde white people, I was like, where the hell am I? Like growing up, like it was weird. Like,
definitely,
you know, it was, and then it slowly started becoming, now it's more of like how it was there. Like we have more different cultures now, but when we first moved here, it was very, very white.
For sure,
It was weird. Like,
and I get
and then
that,
I was picked on, you know, for more of my disabilities and stuff. So it wasn't because I was white. So when I moved here too, and everyone's like, I'm picked on for being Mexican and this and that, and I was like, what? Like to me, that was weird. I was like, I was picked on for being white. What are you talking about, white privilege? I mean, it's a thing. I know, but for me, growing up, I was like, that's a thing here? Because it was total opposite of where I grew up. Like I was the white kid.
Right.
You know, so it's really weird.
I get that.
It was weird. It was moving here. It's like, okay, this is.
Do you feel like
odd.
Arizona is a pretty like prejudiced state?
It can be.
Yeah.
I mean, I would still say today it's pretty bad. But like I said, it's more mixed than it was. So I know that it's a little, I think I would say it's a little better in that way, but we still, I mean, there's always going to be hate out there. There's going to be people hate you for something.
Do you think it's like more centered in Phoenix? Because I feel like
Phoenix is pretty bad.
Phoenix, Flagstaff is pretty like,
well,
I don't know how mixed it is, but it's very hippie.
Different. Like, each state is different. Like each little city here is different. Like like you said, you'll go to
Tucson is like super liberal.
Yeah, like, it's every place here is different. That's the cool thing is like you can literally be here, drive down the street, and it's completely different.
I know, it's crazy.
You're in Mesa and you go to Tempe. Tempe's more college kids.
Right.
ASU, you know, you have all your Sun Devils and whatever. And then like you go down, you know, Scottsdale. Higher, richer class, you know, those people are very prejudiced.
Yes.
I've worked in Scottsdale a lot. Like I did the Santa photos in Scottsdale.
Oh, okay,
and they kind of just look at you weird. They're like, you know, because they know when you don't belong. They're like, even though I was dressed nice and stuff because we had to, but still they're like, you know, whatever. Or so it's just, even within Arizona, every state, every little city is completely different. Like Tempe is different than Mesa. Mesa is different than Phoenix. North Phoenix is different from South Phoenix. Like,
then you have Sedona, which is like
Sedona is like very
anywhere else.
Oh my gosh, Sedona is. If you have a chance, it's so pretty up there.
So beautiful,
and it's very. I would say that's very hippie.
Oh, very
earthy people that go there.
But
because
also
of
sort
all
of
that.
like bougie at the same time.
It is because it's very rich up there. It is
very rich.
And then you have like Globe, which is a little.
It's like a ghost town.
It very much
I swear to
is.
God. Or like Miami. Have you been to Miami or Arizona? There's fucking nothing
out there. We did a haunted house in Globe.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. It's literally.
Again, it's little. And again, want to talk real haunting? I had a real ghost experience in that haunted house.
Yeah,
like
for sure.
I believe, but I actually after that I was like, oh no, they're real. Like we saw things that were not.
I've had ghost experiences too.
Because the haunt we did was actually at the prison or the jail down there.
Oh, that's
the
scary.
Globe Haunted Jail. So it was actually a real jail, and there are even places you couldn't go there because of it being that. Like the third, second, and I think the very top was off limits. We couldn't go up there at all.
Well, I think what like most people don't realize is that like when you watch movies that are based in the Old West, that's Arizona.
Yep.
Like the majority of them are based in Tombstone is Arizona, right? The OK Corral or whatever. Yep. I think
there's
like, I never put that together when I was a kid.
Well, you don't think about that.
Not
you know,
all,
like
no.
even if you go to Old Tucson, it's not where it originally was.
Right.
But again, history from movies and stuff. Old Tucson, if you haven't, it's a lot of fun. They do a Halloween event. Go.
Oh, okay.
A plug in for them. They're really nice,
I love
awesome
Tucson.
people.
I've only been there twice.
If you have a chance, do the old. Especially they do Christmas and Halloween, and they're both of their shows are awesome. So
okay, sweet.
If you have a chance, go to Old Tucson. It's really cool.
Nice.
I don't know how expensive. It's not that expensive, and now they're open year round. They were closed when COVID happened. They closed, and they were even talking about it not coming back.
Did COVID severely affect haunts?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Miscreation, like I said, that's when we started my haunt.
Right.
And it was around COVID time, and I was like, how are we going to do this?
Right. Yeah.
And we were one of the ones that stayed open, and we did it. I mean, no one got sick. Everything worked out fine. We had to wear masks and all that.
I feel like Arizona
stuff.
barely took it seriously.
Yeah, it did.
I was going
honestly,
not to sound crass, I was going to strip clubs and comedy shows during COVID.
There were stuff that, I mean, it was still open, but it wasn't, but there wasn't as many people because you did have people that were scared. So I would say it did. People took it seriously, but there was still stuff going on. So.
Yeah, it wasn't like Florida in that regard.
No, and I didn't think that anyone would show up to our haunt, but we actually got quite a few people, and even the news came out, and they were only supposed to be there for a little while, and they ended up being there for hours because they had a lot of fun. And like, do you mind if we just hang out here and whatever? And I was like, I guess.
That is like, crazy.
You know, and they were really nice, and they liked us because we helped them, you know, get in and out because the camera equipment gets stuck and stuff.
For sure.
But I mean, and they were there the whole night. They're like, we're back with whatever. And I was like, whatever. If they're having a great time.
That's pretty neat. So were you on TV?
Yeah, we were. I was on. Nice. I was the one that was interviewed. Of course, you couldn't see my face.
Right.
I think it's on our website still.
Oh,
but
nice.
the lady interviewed us.
Can we throw that in?
Yeah.
Into the episode?
Care. Yeah.
Sweet.
It's up. I don't care.
Awesome. Thank you.
So before we take you through some of it, I want to introduce you to Sydoney. She is the creator of Miscreation here. So you guys are based in Phoenix, but you go all over. But obviously this year was so different. So how did you make this come to life and still keep it safe?
So we didn't really know we were going to open until a while. But I was like, you know what? As long as we do the distancing, the mask, we have hand and sanitizer, and we're safe. We check all of our actors, make sure that their temperature's right. We check all of our patrons and make sure their temperature. So we do everything the safe way. Safety's always been our number one.
And you wanted to make sure your actors had something to do this Halloween, but safely. You said you put your actors as number one, and they're really what brings this to life.
Yes. They would cry if I canceled it, and I don't want that. So we decided to go ahead and do it and just be the safest we can. And I mean, we're always safe. We have fire extinguishers. We have exit signs. Safety is our number one.
And everybody's wearing a mask. You don't have to worry about that. Some of them are very scary. So Brandon, I'm going to actually take you through some of this. We're going to show people different parts of this haunted house or haunted driveway, really, every hour. This is their haunted hallway. And when you go through here, it's all about cannibals and zombies. That is the theme. Two things I am not a fan of, but I am doing this. Good sport the night before Halloween. But they've really made it great for COVID. Everybody's wearing a mask. There is a fire extinguisher here on every angle of it. And each room you go into, you're that's the witch. That's the witch. You get a new experience in each room that you go into with a new theme, new actors, and all of them. Oh my God, that is a clown. That is a clown. Yep. Did not see you there. So tonight is their blackout night. They're going to be having people all in the dark here with just candles. So it's kind of cool. They have a new theme every night. And of course, everything is scary. So Brandon, I'm going to try to survive this haunt at the moment. And we'll be coming back with you live all throughout the night tonight.
Oh boy.
From one of the most COVID-friendly haunted houses that you could have. I'll send it back to you.
So, but awesome. But again, it was just a little home haunt.
Yeah.
And our goal is eventually to go pro. That's everyone's goal. But you have to start somewhere.
Right.
But yeah, we were open for COVID. It was weird.
For sure.
It was weird. Like we couldn't get too close to people. Everyone had to be temperature checked and all that stuff.
Right,
we had hand and sanitizer everywhere.
Right.
You know, it almost felt like we were bathing in it at some points.
Right.
And again, but since we already are clean with makeup, I wasn't worried about that at all. Like,
you remember when they were doing like the nose jabs? Like they would go like into your throat, like from your nose to test for COVID. They don't do that anymore. It's just a quick little swab. But
I didn't have that happen to me.
Yeah, all the way back. For 10 seconds.
I didn't have that happen to me, but I heard about it. Like it was. I mean,
my son had to do it twice. It sucked. Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
That's sad. No.
Yeah.
That whole thing was.
That was fucked up.
Well, we even talk about COVID in the documentary that I had, The Haunting with Heart.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Because it was around that time.
Yeah.
It was around that time.
Yeah.
Because even in some of the interviews, some people had masks on and stuff. So it's funny you brought that up because that's actually when I started that, again, when I started that documentary, wasn't my intention, like, man, I really want to put COVID in there, but it happens, so some of those questions come up. Yeah, like, how did you do whatever, you know?
Do you have a trailer for that we could put into the show? Okay, we do, perfect. Awesome. Oh, yeah, Sydoney made a documentary.
Yeah, it was a while ago.
How long did it take to make?
It was, oh my God.
Because it's like 2.5 hours,
There's so much footage that didn't even, it was so hard to choose.
For sure.
But I wanted, and I was like, people could always watch it in 2 different, you know, whatever. But mainly, again, it was about educating people. That was why I again, not, I'm going to be a millionaire and make all this money and whatever. No, it was like, I just wanted people to learn about haunters. Again, it's called Haunting with Heart because a lot of...
Great title.
You know, we haunt with heart. That's why we do it. It's not for the money. Okay, there are some haunts that's all they do it for, and there's some here in Arizona. And you can tell when you go through who is doing it for what. Most of the time you can.
Interesting, yeah.
Yeah, but there's some here that, yes, they are strictly for profit, but like some of the haunts here, like Sanctum of Horror is a family-owned and operated haunt. Known them forever. Amazing people, amazing haunt. They do a great job. Everything pretty much the dad builds. I mean, it's a whole family thing. The Slaughterhouse, which is not open anymore. Last year was its last year. My favorite haunt, hands down. I love all the other haunts, I'm sorry, but Slaughterhouse was actually haunt. It just had so much going for it.
Nice.
And again, how they started, family fundraiser. And they're like, if we're going to do this, let's do it right. So again, some of these really good haunts started out kind of by mistake or by passion. And that's when you know what's a good haunted attraction. People ask me all the time, how do you know? Is it the animatronics and this and that's? Like, it's the people and the passion. Like, you can have all the animatronics and Gugas in the world. Doesn't make your thing any better. And then you could have barely anything and just have some, like when we did Miscreation, it was intense. So we didn't have big sets, we didn't have, but our actors were amazing. And people literally would go through and like, this is better than this and this and this. And we were like I didn't expect that. I thought people would go through and be like, that was crap. It was in a tent with some scary people. Okay. But people came out, and I was like, be honest with me. Give me your honest opinion. We can't learn and grow if you don't tell us what, you know, what was good, what was not.
So you have that, like, that DIY ethic mixed with, like, passion.
Art. Well, I mean, professionalism is a big part too. There was a haunt we did work with that was a home haunt that went professional, and he was wanting to keep it more home based, and I'm like, that's okay, but when you go pro, there's things that have to change. Like, you can't have all your homies and whoever tell you what to do. You have to do it the right way. We ended up leaving that one and going somewhere else because it wasn't working out, because he wanted to play pretty much. He was like, I want to own the haunt and make all the decisions, but I want to play too. And it's like, when you step from owning a haunt, and that's one thing when I knew I was going to be, you know, want a haunt, I was like, you're stepping away a little bit from acting. And what you love. But the cool part of that is you get to give it to other people, and you kind of get to live through them. Like I said, when I see you guys get in character, do your makeup, that kind of, I live through you. It's like, oh, I remember when I first did that. You know, it takes you back.
That makes sense.
Yeah, so it's like, but he wanted to play and run it. And he had friends that were guiding him not to forward. And it's like, if you want to be pro, there are things you have to change, obviously, safety wise, and just how you run a business. So
that makes sense.
It didn't work out, whatever, not a big deal. Again, when you do this stuff in this industry, I'm sure you know, there's a lot of people you come into path with, and it either works out or it doesn't. And you just move on, and you're like, well, I wish the best for you. Good luck. See you later. And that's how we found the Slaughterhouse and Bobby, and that's how we started working with Apocalypse, was because of leaving that, we found a better thing for us. And Bobby, again, family, it's the same, the guy who owns the Slaughterhouse is also the one that does Apocalypse and Glowing Pumpkins. And he did that here, and pretty much we help him run it. Like, I'm the head makeup artist. I do all the makeup and also help with acting and stuff. And my crew, my dad, and then David and my mom, we all kind of do different things. And I bring more people, and like I said, I hope to bring you in. There's some other people I've met along the way, and I'm like, ooh, I have new leads or people I could see doing something, you know. For sure. And we bring our own people in, and then it just makes it better. But like the second year, which was last year, was amazing. Everybody loved it. We didn't have any problems. There was no drama. Like everything was. I haven't worked in a haunt like that for a long time. Like, it was, and everybody loved it. And we actually got paid. He does pay, which is nice. There's a lot of haunts that don't.
Definitely.
He does pay, and I would say he's probably one of the highest paying haunts here, because a lot of them usually just pay minimum wage. He pays above that. So again, if you want to do and you're looking at doing a haunt, Apocalypse is always looking. And there's, like I said, there's Sanctum of Horror. There's Scarizona. Brittany's from there. You know,
okay.
yeah. She works there. We might steal her. Sorry. I'm just saying. I really like
Sure.
Brittany. I told her that the other day. I was like, you might end up coming to Apocalypse with us. She's like, okay. I'm like, well, that was easy. I'm like, well, that's a little too easy. But and a lot of the haunts I know and I'm good friends with. Like I like, you know, Scarizona. I like Sanctum of Horror. Like they're friends of. I've known them for years. You know, and like I said, some of the other haunts we don't mention because they're not doing it, I would say, for the right reasons.
Right.
And and I have worked for some of them, and.
Right. So it's like what's really getting me is like it's like its own scene, like its own community.
Yep. Haunters is its own.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's very cool.
And if you watch Haunting with Heart, you kind of learn that. It talks about that, like, we make our own community and family. And a lot of us are trying to, like, bring the haunt community together. And then there are other haunts that are like, I'm better than you, whatever. It's like, we all do the same thing.
Right.
And you know what? Haunters like to go more than one haunt usually, right? If you go to one, what do you want to do? You want to go to others.
For sure.
So it's like, why don't we help each other and promote each other instead of Apocalypse is better than everybody. Don't go to Sanctum. Don't go. No, I tell people ask me all the time, hey, what's a good haunt or whatever? And I'm honest. I'll tell them, like, go to this place. Where do you live? What are you closest to?
Yeah.
And, you know, I tell them, I'm like, hey, I recommend Old Tucson. You know, I tell people, I get asked all the time, what's a good one? We started doing reviews and stuff because people were always asking me. I got tired of answering it. So I'm like, now I just send them the link. I'm like, here's what we recommend. Here's what we don't recommend. Sure. So, because I mean, again, haunts are expensive too now. They didn't used to be. So it's like, if you can only do 2 of them, you don't want to waste your money on, you know, something that you'll be like, I can't believe I just. And advertisements lie. They say the scariest, the best, the biggest.
Right.
And you go to them and you're like, that was not the biggest or the scariest.
What's the big one out here every Halloween?
13th Floor and Fear Farm.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Owned by the same company. They're all owned by 13th Floor now.
Oh, okay.
That's why if anyone who knows the old Fear Farm, you know that it's different. It's because it's ran by different people.
Gotcha.
And I even am friends with the original owners of Fear Farm.
Yeah.
And he kind of told me without telling me, he was like, that was the biggest mistake he ever made was teaming up with them. And he ended up selling it to them because of what they've done.
Oh, wow.
So, again, 13th Floor is not one of our favorites.
Gotcha.
Like, I usually don't talk about them because I don't usually have anything nice to say.
Gotcha. Okay.
And now they own Fear Farm, so Fear Farm isn't the same anymore either. It used to be really cool. They used to have clowns.
Yeah.
Trimmers and Flinch, and that was like their big. I mean, like those guys were popular. Like they had YouTube and stuff. They were. People literally would go to Fear Farm to see the clowns.
Interesting.
Like. I would say they're one of the haunts that really started like the icon.
Right.
Because people would travel to see Trimmers and Flinch.
Okay.
Like the clowns, they had like their own little movies and stuff. Like they even, there was a YouTube video of them putting mustard and ketchup in their eyes and stuff. They did some jackass stuff too. But they were people known them. So when 13th Floor and Fear Farm teamed up, they took the clowns kind of away.
Oh.
And people noticed, like it wasn't the same. And now, I mean, Fear Farm was known for the clowns, and now you go and you're like, those clowns were pathetic. Like, where's Trimmers and Flinch? We want them back. And one of the clowns is a makeup artist now, and he does all kinds of stuff.
Gotcha.
His name's Chris. He's amazing. Chris Effects. He did actually the faces and stuff of them.
Oh, okay.
So, great guy. Again, I know a lot of people in this. You end up knowing everybody. And it's sad to hear some of the stuff that happened to them with the whole deal and all that. So that's why when people ask, I'm like, if it's a chain, it's usually not good. Kind of like big box chains, same thing.
Yeah.
And since 13th Floor is now, they want to be everywhere, but the quality isn't there.
Yeah.
So you're paying.
That's the way it goes.
Yeah.
For sure.
It's kind of like with anything. It's a big name, but you're not necessarily getting what you think you're getting. Even their advertisements are sometimes not even of here. You'll watch the video and be like, that looks really cool. And you go there and you're like, I didn't see that anywhere. And they're like, oh, that's because that's the one in Chicago.
Oh, that's so lame. Yeah.
It's like, well, I want to go see. Or like there are characters that we'd go see where like, that clown looks awesome. And you'd go and you're like, I didn't see that clown anywhere.
Right.
Like, and they're like, oh, well, that's actually the icon of Denver. And you're like, isn't that like false advertising?
I know, right?
Like,
that's what I was thinking, yeah.
I want to see the witch that's on the billboard. What the heck is this? Or the characters are not there or whatever. And you're like, you can't have a whole haunt and a theme based on a character that's not even there.
Yeah.
Like,
for sure.
That's confusing. That's why I'm like, so yeah, with some haunts, be careful with advertising. It's not always true.
Right, for sure. Okay, we're going to take a quick commercial break.
Commercial break.
Yeah.
Brought to you by.
So we're going to throw in the trailer for Haunting with Heart right here, maybe putting the clip of Sydoney on the news. And when we come back, Sydoney is going to put paint on my face.
Or something.
Or something.
Yeah.
Sydoney's going to teach me how to do this stuff.
Some real ones. They're gonna be like, it looks real because they are. No.
Okay. Okay. Cut.
Hello, my name is Gabby. I'm a psychic and love specialist. I have helped many people through the years in my profession. If you would like to get a reading done, you can call me today. Sending you peace, love, and light.
Like I said, cleanliness is very important. Now, since he bought all this stuff, this is his, so I don't mind actually going in, but usually, like, if you're working with people and stuff, and I brought this, it's dirty, so I actually have this, I call this my dirty bin. So anything that needs to be clean, I throw it in here. But I usually use something like this, and I'll put with a spatula and put the makeup I'm using on here, so I'm not directly contaminating the makeup itself. So, and I also have rags and stuff. Again, I learned this in cosmetology. You always have a dirty bin, and then you go home and disinfect it with like actual disinfectant and soap and stuff. But since this is his set, I don't mind actually using out of here, but usually I don't. So I'm just letting everyone know. Now, I always have hand sanitizer. Today I did not bring it, but that's okay because I always have backups. Always wash your hands when you're working with somebody and have them wash whatever area. We're going to start with your arm, so go ahead and wash your arm. You could do your face too, so already. Make sure cleanliness is really, really good in this industry because you can literally give people infections and lawsuits can happen if you don't do it correctly. I've never had that happen, so just being clean is a big deal. Anytime you're using on multiple people, like if you're doing a haunt or a movie shoot or something, or like the things we've been doing, I clean in between every person. Another thing that I always have is I carry this with me, and it's literally for like paintbrushes, but I use it. And what you do is you put alcohol or you disinfect it, whatever, water, and then you clean your brushes, and then you can put them to dry or whatnot. Oh. So I recommend, please clean. Like, there's nothing more gross than seeing your makeup artist use the same brush on 7 people. He has brand new brushes, so I'm hoping they're clean. They should be. They just came out, so we don't have to clean them or anything. Yeah. And I also use regular brushes. Again, I'm not rich. A lot of people starting off with makeup, you can literally just buy regular paint brushes. This is my brushes that I have. I brought this just as an example to show, you know, and this is also how I store it in a, what do they call this, airtight box, so no contaminants. So after I clean everything, I always put it in something like this. So the first thing we're going to start off doing is going to just be a bruise. Now everyone's like, oh, that's boring, that's not fun. If you can master a bruise, you can literally master anything. So like I said, when I'm doing makeup on multiple people, I'll usually use that spatula, but we're going to just do it from here. We know it's clean, this is his. He can do whatever he wants with it after. So for bruises, again, there's all kinds. You have like your fresh bruises, you have your healing bruises, you kind of have your mid. We'll kind of let's do a fresh one to get started. So I'm just going to go in with the yellow in the middle, and this is called the Master Bruise Wheel by Benai. And like, depending if you're doing a movie or something, like when we did the photo shoot, I kind of had like a handprint that looked on him. It was really cool. I wasn't really going for it, but it just happened and I liked it. Sometimes with horror makeup is cool because your mistakes sometimes can actually end up being really cool. So we're just going to do like he bumped into something. So you're going to just start with the yellow, and you always kind of want to start with your lighter colors because if you go darker, it's really hard to come back from that. So we're going to start with the yellow, and you could even leave it this way. This could just be like he literally just got hit, but we're going to do a little bit more than that. So, and as you can see, I don't use a lot. A little goes a long way. A lot of people think you have to use a lot. The more makeup you use, it's going to be harder to actually spread. So a lot of horror makeup, especially like cuts, bruises, gashes, stuff like that, you have to get your blending just right, otherwise it becomes muddy. So this could literally be he just got hit, or even like a sickly look. This yellow is really good for. Sure. So I'm gonna go ahead and wipe that off my finger. And I'm not using brushes. You're probably like, hey, you have all these brushes. your fingers are some of the best tools, and the cool thing is they're free. Like, I mean, unless like you lost a finger, I'm sorry, but these tools you have. So again, you don't always have to go out and get, and a lot of times bruises are kind of easier, I would say, with your fingers. So we have the yellow, and now I'm gonna go in with the lighter red.
You're gonna offend the fingerless community.
I know, I'm sorry. I have a friend that's missing an arm, and we call him Nemo. Nemo, I love you. So
like Captain Nemo?
No, he goes by Nemo because his little hand is missing. So he goes by Nemo like the fish.
Oh.
So just a little bit of red. He works at Apocalypse too. We love Nemo. So yeah, see, so you can, I'm going over the yellow, but you can still see there's like a ring of yellow around. Because I don't know if you've ever looked at bruises, but there's always like that yellowy look. So now we're going in with the lighter red. And he has arm hair too. Think about that too. Some people's complexion as well as hair and stuff sometimes might make it a little difficult. I've worked with hairier people. This ain't that bad. So that, I could even call that and be like, there you go. That's kind of a newer bruise. It just kind of happened. He just got hit or slapped or ran into something, however it happened. Like I said, if you're doing a movie or a specific thing and you need an actual makeup, you're going to have references. Like, let's say, like, oh, this guy, you know, someone grabbed him like this and, you know, really hard. Then you're going to actually have to, like, place your hand and kind of do. But since we don't really have a script, you're just going with it. So I could call that done. That could be a new bruise.
Now,
that
are
just
you going
happened.
in like a circle when you apply this?
I was doing that because I was thinking you kind of just got hit by something. Again, bruises are all kinds of different sizes, whatever. Sometimes you have little ones, sometimes you have skinny ones. Again, it depends on, like when we did the hand one,
coming from?
it's because you smell so good.
Yeah, I guess so.
The flies like it. So I could call that a day and say that's a newer bruise, but we're gonna go in and make it a little bit darker. So I'm gonna go now in with the darker red. It's funny, I go to makeup places with friends, like Sephora and stuff, and they have like the little samples. I'm like, I bet you $5 I can make a bruise with 3 colors. And they're like, no, you can't, and I always do. So, and just again, a little bit goes a long way. I think what a lot of people mess up with blending is they do too much. That's like what I noticed my dad doing, is he had way too much. There you go. That's a new bruise that just happened. Like he literally just, like, ow, he ran into the table. And that happened. So, and one thing what we do when we do makeup, especially for characters, it's like, look at yourself, see what you look like, because that will also help inspire your story. Or like some characters have a specific, like, I want a gash here, it's always here. Okay.
Oh, okay.
So, you know, I died because someone hit me in the head, so they always have the same look. But some actors or where you're working, it doesn't matter. So now we'll do a little bit of an older bruise for you so you can see. So this is a new bruise. You're going to have the purple or the reds and the yellow. Now, older bruises, when they're starting to heal, they kind of are purpley blue, right? So we're going to still go in with the yellow. Or, you know, here, go this way. Here we go. There we go.
And these are primary colors, right?
This is just the bruise wheel. I mean, I guess it's, like I said, I tell people to get this wheel all the time. You can do zombies, you can do gashes, you can do, there's so much stuff you can do with this wheel. You can even do like rot.
Nice.
So I can even, I'll show a little bit of that. So this time we're going to do more of a bruise, kind of like maybe you either slid on something or it hit you. Like if you're doing movies or different things, your makeup's going to be a little bit different. And you're going to have hopefully someone telling you kind of what they're wanting in references.
Right.
But sometimes on movie sets you don't get that. So sometimes you have to be creative and try to help your actors. We have the yellow still, because even when bruises are healing, sometimes they have that yellow ring around it. So we're going to go older. So instead, now we're going to do the purple. The purple's a little bit lighter than the blue, and it looks kind of darker on here. I'm like, damn, that's dark, but it never is that dark. So when you spread it out, see how it's a little lighter. So I'm going to go in with the purple. I tell people all the time, Bruise Wheel is a really good start, and Benai makes really affordable makeup. It's not the highest quality, but it's also not the lowest quality. A lot of theater companies will use Benai. Benai is really popular with like theaters and movies and stuff. Benai is a really good company. Okay. So after I did the purple, I went in with the blue. Yeah, so this is a little bit of an older bruise, kind of starting to kind of heal. You've had it, it's starting to disappear a little bit. And again, all of this is blending. Like, if you don't do it correctly, everything turns out one color or just like a blob. It doesn't work out. And I really like the yellow there. I'm liking this yellow. Get out of here, fly. See, the fly even believes it's real.
I know, right?
There you go.
I'm rotting, yeah.
So
nice.
that's your older bruise compared to your newer bruise.
Nice.
And what I tell people is look at photos. When you get bruises, take photos of your bruises.
Legit. Yeah.
I don't know. Do you want us to like show maybe a grab so you guys can kind of see?
Yeah,
okay.
Whatever you want to do.
All right. So anytime I'm doing something like that, I kind of use my actual hand. So references are good. Looking at pictures of like, my mom was always like, hey, if you ever get a bruise, you should take a picture of it. Or like I tell people, don't look at my Google history. You would think something's wrong with me. Looking at different, gashes, or they're like, what is wrong with you? It's like, I'm a makeup artist. So you can already see that starting to kind of look. So if like someone came and like did like that to him. So yeah, this could be like someone did. And I could even stop there if I wanted to, like it literally just happened. But like I said, we're gonna go a little bit more. Now, I forgot to put the yellow, but that's okay because you can do the yellow first. Some people don't. That's why I wanted to do this to show too. Like if you're like, oh crap, I forgot the yellow, you can always get it and just put it around. So yeah, bruises, like I tell people, everyone gets bored or they're like, oh, that's dumb. But I tell people it's like, once I mastered bruises, a lot of the other horror stuff comes pretty easy.
Right.
So even though I forgot the yellow, it's not a big deal. As you saw, we kind of added that. It's not, that's the cool thing I think with horror makeup too, is there's a lot of forgiveness. Like I tell people, if you mess up, throw some blood on it, no one knows. And it kind of the same with this bruise. So we want it a little newer. So you remember we did the yellow, the light red, and now we're going to go in with the dark red. Again, same thing. So that's why I tell people, get bruising. It's the same principle. So his arms literally got the crap kicked out of him so far. We could add a little bit of the darker color just to make it, again, and it depends on how old you're wanting it. We'll add just a little just so you can see.
That's the purple?
Yeah, just a little purple. So there you go. That's basic bruises.
Nice.
And once you get that down, everything else is pretty easy, and you'll see like a lot of repetition. So this is called a stimpling sponge. You can buy them on Amazon. You can buy them any costume shop, whatever. You can also buy them at fish places because they actually use these for like fish tanks. It's a lot cheaper, and you get big squares. Saves you a lot of money. So you can get stimpling sponges, or you go to your local fish store and whatever. So we're gonna do road rash on him. Just a little bit of yellow. See, repetition, I tell people. So we're gonna have you wipe that. You're literally just gonna drag it or tap it.
Is it harder to work on people with tattoos?
Not necessarily, no. I've done tattoos too before.
Okay.
You might have to, again, play with the colors. Kind of the same with different skin tones. It's not gonna be exactly the same. And usually, especially with like darker skin tones, the darker colors are going to show up a little bit better. So now we're going to go in with the light red. Oh my gosh, it's like almost like bruises. That's why, again, I tell people, they think I'm crazy. I'm like, nope. It's repetition. And it gives a stimpling effect. Hence why it's called a stimpling sponge. Because you can either drag it, which leaves like that, or you can even just kind of do like that. Kind of just tap it. But like if you were doing a motorcycle accident or like someone was being dragged on carpet, like a murder or something, this would probably be a good effect to have. So now I'm going to go in with the darker red. And again, same thing, you're just going to... And I like doing this on kids too, especially when you have a lot of kids, because you can do this pretty fast. And you can sometimes just get away with red. And I'm going to put a little bit of the dark blue just to kind of make it look like the street was in your head, since we don't have black.
Do you have like a design in your mind, or?
Sometimes, it depends. Yeah. It depends. I wanted to do the hand because when you think of like dragging, you always think of the hand.
This looks cool.
So that's how easy a stimpling sponge. Now the cool thing, like I was saying earlier, you can do rot with your stimpling sponge too. So for like zombies, the yellow, and I'll show you just an example. Put a little around you. Beetlejuice. If you had like a Beetlejuice makeup, this is perfect. So like usually for zombies, not all the time, but you'll have a base to make them look more dead. So it'd be like white or gray, or even like that bluish gray. But we don't have that. Like I said, I'm just showing you basics. But you could do that, have your white face, and then do like the dark eyes and all that. And then if you want a little rot, Or like I said, Beetlejuice. This is like kind of almost the same thing they used for him. So you're getting the same effect kind of with the hand, but it's going to be different colors. And then we're going to use green instead. That's why this wheel is awesome, because it does have this green. So that's just that. So again, we did a couple of different looks with very little makeup. Look how you could do thousands of faces with this if you use it wisely. They're kind of expensive. I know it's like, they used to be like $15. I think now they're like, what, $20, $30 a wheel?
Yeah.
It's not bad, but if you use it like I did, this can last a long time. But no, also, your makeup can go bad. There is an expiration date. Yep, this little thing right here, a lot of people don't know it. It's that little can, and it has a date. That means 18 months.
Oh, okay. What happens when it goes bad?
Sometimes, I will be honest, I'll use expired makeup because it's that's the recommended date.
Right.
But I mean, when you know when makeup's bad, you'll either open it,
be like
it's
cakey
either
or...
hard, it's really hard, or sometimes they'll smell.
Nice.
Now the next thing, and this is kind of a treat, so this is called rigid collodion. Different companies make it. This one's by Amaron, but there are other companies that make it. It doesn't matter what company, whatever.
Is collodion the substance?
Rigid collodion?
Yeah.
Yeah, I believe so. So they actually used to use this back in the war. So when soldiers would get hurt or injuries and you didn't have time to like actually, staple them up or whatever, this was the glue to hold the stuff together.
Oh, interesting. Like World War I?
Mm-hmm. But now they've noticed it actually is really cool for makeup stuff.
Yeah.
So now they use it for that.
Interesting.
So we'll go ahead and do this arm again. Okay. So I'm going to try to do it without hair because this can hurt on hair.
Oh, okay.
Latex, do not put latex on hair. Do not do that. Like I said, if I do another show of him, we'll do some latex and I'll go over more tips and tricks on latex. That's a whole nother thing.
Okay.
But this is called rigid collodion. It has a really interesting smell. You're going to smell it.
Yeah.
It smells like nail polish. Yep. Yep. Every time you open it in a class, it might take a while, but the whole classroom will smell this.
Sure.
So, and it has a little brush. Again, make sure that they're clean. We already know he washed his arm, but if you're reusing the brush on multiple people, and what we're going to do is we're just going to do a line straight down, and then you let it dry. Now, when you're working with latex stuff like this, you have drying periods. So what you could do is while this is drying, work on something else or another person and then come back to it. So yeah, and the more layers you put on, the deeper it's going to suck in. So if you want like a really, really deep cut or scar, you're going to have to go in a couple of times.
And so this is like a base before you put on the blood?
Yep.
Okay.
Some people you can just leave it because like some scars don't have color, especially depending. So you could just leave it. Like I think even on this, it kind of, well, no, she has color on hers. But if it was like a scar that you've had for a long time, you might not really put a whole lot of color into it. But yeah, most of the time most people want color and they want it to look cool.
So, sorry to interrupt.
Yeah, is it starting to feel weird?
Maybe this is kind of dark, but I do have scars from when I used to cut myself as a teenager, and you can kind of see them.
Yeah, they're very light, so you can't.
And they look like this.
So you could leave
just saying
it.
how realistic it is.
Like you could leave it. Like I don't have to. I could say that's a scar. I'm done. Like that he's had this for a long time. It's
now when you're putting it on, are you able to like foresee where it will like tighten up, or is that according to like the pores on a person's skin?
Yeah, it depends. Well, I mean, like it depends on where you put it and stuff.
Right.
The face sometimes shows it a little bit better, but I like to do the arms because I like the kids to watch it when I put it on because they can't see it when it's on their face. So I do a lot of makeup on arms a lot of times, especially when I'm working with kids and stuff, because they like to. And how can they learn if they don't see it?
Right,
so
totally.
You're seeing it get sucked in. So
you're treating me like a child.
Exactly. Someone has to.
For sure, yeah.
He acts like one. I mean, look what he's wearing.
It's true.
I always tell people, if you at all feel itchy or uncomfortable, always let your makeup artist know because that could be allergic reaction or something. Sometimes it could be sensory, but if this started turning red, I would take it off automatically and be like, we're done. Because some people are allergic to rigid collodion. There's a lot of latex allergies. You always want to do a patch test. Like I said, if I do another show, we'll go into latex safety. Because, again, when I first started, there was a lot of things I learned, and I learned that latex does not like hair, and I did not have eyebrows for quite a while.
Oh, really?
And it wasn't even my fault. It was my makeup artist.
Oh, man.
So I'm going to start first off with this kind of bigger brush. And again, if you don't have a brush, use your fingers. But I'm going to just do this so we can see. So we're going to go in with the red. Again, light red. What? No. Yeah, we're going to do the light red. Yeah, kids love rigid collodion because of the films. This is always a showstopper for when we do classes. And that's how I know like what to keep and what not to keep. I know bruises, a lot of times some people get bored when I'm teaching it, but I tell them like I have to teach that though, because as you see, all the colors we're using is the same thing. And if I do a latex thing with him, you're gonna see a lot of the same thing. So you're gonna kind of want to watch this one before going to just to latex. So we have our red. I could even stop there and just say, hey, it's new, it's whatever. But again, we're gonna go in with now the darker red, and I'll go ahead and use a smaller brush. I think it's easier to blend with the fingers, and a lot of the makeup artists that taught me told me that your fingers are your best friend. So I could say, I'm done, we're done, right? It looks good. That could be a cut, that could be whatever. It could be a scar, whatever you want to do. But we'll go ahead and make it a little more interesting. We're gonna go in with the purple. Just give it a little. See, and like I said, you don't need latex. If you use a lot of these colors, you can actually do three-dimensional things with color. So again, I could call it a day, say he has a cut, we're done. But we're gonna go a little gorier. Why not? Yes. So
Sweet.
now this is called thick blood. So there's like, I think someone told me there's like thousands of different types of blood. There's different brands, there's different consistencies. Can I smell it? There's different colors.
It's not really a smell.
Yeah, there's all kinds of different types of blood. So I like thick blood. You can use drippy blood. Like if I wanted this to drip, drippy blood would be better, but I kind of want it to stick, so the thick blood, that's why, and thick blood in Arizona can turn to thin blood when you sweat really easily. And I'm going to use actually the butt of the brush, so I'm not even using the brush.
Nice.
So yeah, if you wanted it drippy, obviously you're going to want a different blood, like stage blood. Spirit sells blood online, you can buy blood anywhere, but you can also make it. It's not that expensive. It's not that hard to make. It is sticky. A lot of people don't like that.
Right.
And we've been using kind of the same recipe for blood for a while. I call it the special UZA blood. I'm sure we didn't invent it because I know that I probably heard it from somewhere else. But we do a little different with our blood because, again, we work with kids and stuff, so we like, it tastes like chocolate. And they always end up, somehow the blood disappears, but it's all over their face.
Oh,
you put in there like, where did your blood go? They're like, I don't know. I have no idea. And you're like, so I guess our blood is really delicious. I don't know. I always have a first aid kit with me. You can tell it's like a million years old.
Yeah. Awesome.
So yeah, like I always try to have like something just in case. Because again, when you're on shoots or stuff, you would think like the director would have stuff, but I have like medicine and like.
Imagine being at like Walmart or like the grocery store and having them pull that out and it's covered in fake blood.
I had a kit. This one's wet from I don't know what, but I had one that was like, there's blood on it. Yeah. You're working on someone and you want a black eye. Very similar. Do you want me to do a black eye real fast on you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's do it.
So we're gonna go ahead and start with the darker red first, and I'm gonna use my finger because it's a little easier. Yeah, make sure you talk to your model too. Let them know when you're coming in stuff. Sometimes they jump. It happens. I do airbrush at Rawhide. All of it's airbrush.
That must feel crazy.
That is a lot of jumping, let me tell you. Josh had a bad fight with somebody. I don't know what he did, but he pissed someone off. They were not happy. They were not having it.
It's all the people who watch and don't subscribe.
Oh, see, he's threatening you. If you don't, see what happens.
Yeah, they beat me up.
And again, you can use a brush. If I did, I'd probably use a bigger one, but I'm not going to. So again, I could stop at that and say, I'm done. But like I told him, I want it to be a little bit older. So we did the darker red. Now we're going to go in with the purple. So now I'm going to go in with the darker blue. And there we have a black eye. Pretty easy, not too hard. That's another thing to consider. Ask them, hey, where are you? I'm in the midway. That's a well-lit area, so I can actually do more depth, do more cool stuff with the makeup. If you have an actor or whatever, I'm in the dark. Don't do all that work on, because then you're taking it away from someone who actually needs it.
That's a good point.
Yeah, so whether you're doing a movie, and a movie is going to look different, like even this will look different on film than I'm looking at it right now. So always consider too, what are you doing the makeup for? What is your lighting like? All that stuff. So we'll put some blood on him because I know he's going to want it on the face with the cut. But I could stop there and say, hey, that's a cut. He's good. We got the cut. And again, I'm just going to use the butt of the brush. You can use the brush. It's just going to be a little bit harder to clean. And this is why I like the thick blood, because you can manipulate it a little bit better sometimes than the drippy blood. But if I wanted the drip, I would need the drippy blood for the effect. And when you're working with drippy blood, just make sure that the model's eyes are closed and stuff. You're good. Because sometimes it can drip in the eyes or in the eye ducts, and that blood isn't always fun to get in your eyes. Even the same with this blood, depending on where you put it. And again, we live in Arizona. If he sweats and I put a bunch here, guess what's going to happen? It's going to start coming down this way. So as an artist, just try to let your model know, like, hey, you have blood here. If you sweat or whatever, just be careful with the eyes. You don't want to get any thing in their eyeballs. You don't want to blind, a blind actor. Again, lawsuits can happen. Try to avoid them. I've never had that problem. Again, I'm lucky, but I've heard of a lot of horror stories of, people getting sued and stuff. So that, again, this is just basic makeup, but as you can see, the colors that we use, the yellow, the light red and all that, like you said, you kept seeing a pattern. That's why I tell people, start with bruising first when you feel comfortable and you can do that. Then you can, start messing with latex and stuff, but get comfortable first with blending and how much makeup you use and stuff before you go off the deep end. And like I said, latex is a chemical, so I know a lot of people are home taught, which is cool, but please just be careful and be careful of the videos you watch, because I've watched videos and they are so not what you should do.
What do you do when it's like, say you're shooting a movie, a character has a cut or a scar that's like always there, and it's like over the course of a couple of days or something?
So yeah, repetition. So if you're doing a movie or something that has to be the same, take photos. If you have your phone, if you have a camera, whatever. Like let's say tomorrow I'm doing a movie and it needs to look exactly the same. Take a photo and just print it or have it with you and it might not be exactly, but and not all the time people can tell if it's, oh my God, it's a little off. Right. But you want to try to be as close as possible. So always take reference photos. Like if I was going to do his makeup, even in a haunt, if you have an actor who's like, I really love my makeup, I want it to always look this way, take a photo of it so you have it, and then you can, okay, here's my actor, and then you can pretty much follow exactly. Because unless you're really good and you have like a memory where you can, I would still say take a photo. You never know. For sure. So yeah, if I was working on a movie and I needed, I'd take a photo of your face and your arms, whatever, so I can see, okay, it went this long. Oh, okay, it was this, and you can try to match it the best you can.
Do people ever cheat and use like stickers?
You mean, like the tattoos? I have seen more and more of that. Yeah, the tattoos or the stickers.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, even at Rawhide, a couple of times, some of my actors brought that to have the makeup artist put it on. I wouldn't really say it's cheating because they still did the airbrush, but they added it to. I would say it kind of saved time in some ways. If you have if you Halloween and you don't know how to do makeup, those are perfect. Right. Or like you just want a little something to add to it. Like let's say, oh, I want a stitch, or you could always add something to that. But yeah, like I said, if I teach again, I can teach more of like latex and some of that stuff. But I really just wanted to focus on really basic, so you can get this down. When you feel comfortable with this, then you can take your, to the next step of the different types of blood, the different types of latex, and all that stuff as well. And even airbrush, I can even sometime come down and teach basic airbrush, because I do that with Rawhide all the time. I have to teach on the spot. So yeah.
Is that it?
Yeah, that's basically it. And then the only thing I'd say is like, make sure you clean your brushes, even if they're your personal ones. Alcohol, if you can't get brush cleaner, because some of Benai has a brush cleaner, it's pretty expensive. Okay. I use like a disinfectant, like you can get in the store, like the big one. And Dawn soap gets out this makeup really well. Soap. Yeah, Dawn soap.
Dawn
excellent. Yes, yes. Dawn soap is amazing.
It really is the best. They use it to clean up oil spills.
It does, yeah. So if you put a little bit of Dawn in water and you disinfect it, and then alcohol will kill any of the extra germs.
Like when you say disinfectant, like makeup disinfectant wipes or something?
No, just I buy like at Sam's they used to have like this, I think it was orange disinfectant. They don't sell it anymore. Okay. But there's like green something. What is it called? Simply Green. That's a good one because that's like eco-friendly and stuff. That's a disinfectant. There's also Odoban, and there's anything that's like a disinfectant. Or what's the other word? It's pretty much disinfectant. You want something,
antibacterial,
that's gonna kill the cooties, because you want it to look clean too. Some of my brushes are stained because I've had them for a long time, so they look dirty, but they're not. But like, yeah, if you can get any disinfectant, you want something that's gonna kill the bacteria and the cooties.
But that won't hurt your skin.
This is just to clean the brushes.
Right.
Yeah, when you're taking your makeup off, all you need is like, if you have like what is it? Not Zima is a good one. or even just soap and water. If you don't have like fancy face soap and water can do it. If you're using like an alcohol-based makeup, sometimes it's a little bit harder.
Right.
Because alcohol is a little harder to get off. Also, if you work at a haunt or you're doing something that's using alcohol makeup, moisturize your face. I learned that the hard way. I worked at one haunt and they used an alcohol base, and then my face was super red and dry.
For sure.
And I felt so stupid. I was like, you know better. Like you should have moisturized, but I didn't think about it. But
that's a good point.
The alcohol will dry your skin out. So
okay. Thank you so much for taking your time to do this.
Yeah, no problem.
And educate myself and the audience on this.
I'd rather people be educated than going and not knowing what they're doing and getting hurt.
For sure. You want to tell everyone where to follow you?
So I have multiple businesses, but our main one is called United Zombies of America. You can literally Google us, United Zombies of America, or go to united-zombies-of-america.com. And also, like I said, we had a haunted house called Miscreation, but right now Miscreation's kind of teamed up with Apocalypse Rawhide, and that's where we work. If you are interested in learning airbrush or makeup, we're always looking for makeup artists, and we're always looking for scare actors. Like I said, it's a good pay.
Nice.
It's a lot of fun. It's a great team. Or if you need help finding a haunt and you can't work at Rawhide, it's too far, you can always reach out to me. Like I said, United Zombies, Miscreation is MYSCRTION, so it's spelled a little different. And also, like he said, I'm also a photographer, and it's under UZA. It's called UZA Sinister Sin, and Sinister is spelled with Y's instead of I's, so it's SYNYSTERSYN. And I'm sure he'll put links up to and stuff, but any of those are all interconnected. I also do haunt, U.S. Haunt Search and Halizona. We rate haunted houses and do reviews and stuff.
Oh, nice. And
as well as events and stuff. We don't just do haunted houses, but we do anything and everything. So we'll come out and review things or tell people. But our main thing is haunted houses. So like we'll go through haunts and tell you, like I said, if it's, like we want you to get the best for your buck. We don't want you to go somewhere and you don't like it. Or like, let's say you really like this kind of haunt or this kind of haunt. There are different kinds of haunts. So if you ever need help with haunts or either wanting to go to one or work at one, hit me up. Like I said, I'm Sydoney. You could just let me know. You could hit him up. He'll, link you with me.
Yes.
We're not that hard to find. Like I said, if you Google UZA Sinister Sin or Miscreation, we come up.
For
so
sure.
We've been around for a long time.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you.
Awesome. It was great. Okay, everybody, you know what to do.
Ruin your life.
Bye. Mahalo. Awesome. Nice. Thank you so much.
Yeah, no problem.
Awesome.
I'll take that because I have to clean all this. I know.
Well, hello, and good existence to everyone out there in this ever-expanding universe. You have been fortunate enough to be chosen to participate in this new Millennium's punk rock-based podcast. Let's ruin our lives! Together we will discuss very important issues such as music, comedy, pain, spiritual extortion, the importance of kindness and of love, freedom through ritual ecstasy, and the completely unbearable weight of authoritarian compliance. Please enjoy your show, subscribe, like, and comment below, and always remember that William Blake said, "I must create a system or be enslaved by another man's." Now have a good life. I must create a system or be enslaved by another means. I must create a system or be enslaved by another means. I must create a system or be enslaved by another means. Let's ruin our lives.